Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you are new and if you are returning, then welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to have you back, and I am so happy to welcome you guys that are just joining. So let's jump right into this video. Fun group ideas. Now, as a lot of you know, I have a middle school and an elementary school. These are geared more towards the elementary school kids, but they can also be modified and go towards the middle school students. There's a lot of them that can be, and honestly, depending on the student, they might enjoy this too. So these are some things that I have thought of that I either already am doing or I am planning to do with groups. So if you're wondering what sort of groups, it's going to be a variety. And if that sounds interesting to you, then keep watching. In my school, most of the students that I have in my groups are already receiving some sort of intervention. So for example, if I have a reading group, they're already receiving reading intervention, so that I am just a supplement. I am not providing that intervention, but I'm doing something to try to help even more, if that makes sense. I always ask for the parents' permission, and with the parents' permission, I don't see the harm with me trying to do a group that is just enhancing what they are already working on. So I have 4 ideas and I'm gonna go through them with you. The first one, and I'm actually about to start this group in about a month. I'm trying to get the parents' permission now, and that is a confidence group. So in the confidence group, I am just working on trying to build up that confidence and making them feel better about the things that they do so that they can feel empowered. So what I'm doing in this particular confidence group, I'm doing 3rd grade, and I try to pick people that are already friends with each other and in the same grade so that they're already kind of comfortable. Now, if you're doing a more advanced confidence group, and maybe you've had multiple, then maybe you want different people that they're not friends with. It all depends on what the goal is of this group that you have. So for me, this confidence group, it's 3 people, all friends in the same class. I wanted it smaller so that they can all interact with each other and feel like their voice is heard. Plus they already have a little bit of comfortability with each other, so they're more likely to open up, and we can work on those skills of building home. Some of the things that I might do in the group is have the students say things to each other that are positive things that they notice. And maybe then I also want them to say it about themselves. So student A might say that student B is really good at math and is a great tutor and helps them when they're in there. Student C might say they are always thinking of great games when they are on the playground, and it's always a fun time with them. And then I want them to say something about themselves. And if it's a smaller group, it's easier to do an activity like that. Another thing that I might do in the group, I have them act out hypothetical situations. So one of the kids that I have in the group, a problem that they struggle with in their confidence is being sure of themselves. So they might be in reading, let's say for example, and know the answer, but they don't want to say it because they don't want to embarrass themselves in the class, even though it's right. So maybe we'll act out a scenario of that and make them feel comfortable because they would be saying the answer to us. It's a different situation since it's in a group setting with people that you're comfortable with. But to me, I think that's a good start. Also, something I really want to do with a group is have goals that they can do during the week, because I'll be meeting with them once a week. So have a goal that they can do until we come back the next week, and then we will discuss that. Did they meet the goal? Did they try it? What went well? What didn't? So maybe we acted a scenario where they are going to try to raise their hand and say the answer, whether they're wrong or right. And then I'll tell them to actually do that in class. And the good thing is they're all in the same class together, so the whole group can kind of help each other out. But regardless, then we come back and discuss, did you do that? If you did, how did it go? How did it feel? If you didn't, why didn't you? What can we do to help you maybe do that next week? Are there other things we can do to make you build that confidence to reach that goal? Second group idea that I have is kind of having like a creative expression group, but specifically for children that have low functioning autism spectrum disorder. Some students with autism spectrum disorder, they are nonverbal, but they like to express themselves through art or through some other means of communication. So something that can be done is maybe there's a week where we're working on expressing ourselves through painting or telling a story through their art. Some kids really like to move, so maybe they're moving to express their emotions, and it's hard for them to express their emotions through saying things. So a fun little activity in the group could be they are going to dance and express their emotions based on different songs that we play. And the point of this group is so that they can all communicate with each other and kind of have like a friend group where it's a safe space, and they also feel free to express themselves and feel heard and seen. Another thing that could be done in this group is to work with sensory items. I know some of them really like sensory things, so maybe we make our own Play-Doh, maybe we make our own slime, something like that. And again, to reiterate, these groups are just ideas that I have because I know groups can get a little repetitive if you're doing the exact same group each year, or you just might be like, I just want something fun that the kids will enjoy but also benefit from. And that's what this video is. Anyway, that means let's go to the fourth. That was the second group idea. We're going to the third. Gosh, I need sleep. The third group idea, which I have done before, is getting excited about reading. So I took students that are struggling with reading. They're not in like tier 3 where they need intensive reading support, but they're headed that direction based on their scores in their classroom, based on their scores in the state testing. So I take them and we practice their reading. Like I said, these kids are already receiving intervention. I'm just supplementing. And what I usually do is I have a small group. Again, I love my small groups. About 3 kids, maybe 4, but preferably 3 or 2. And we're going to pick something you're interested in reading. That could be a chapter book. That could be an online interactive story. That can be anime, whatever they want that interests them. And each week we're going to have a different goal with the reading. So we might read together, like all of us as a group. We're going to create questions based on your reading and what you read, and we're going to go through it piece by piece at a time. Like, what did you read? What happened? How can we create questions? What are the different types of questions? Like true and false, multiple choice, open-ended, inference, all of that stuff. And the thing is, we're all here to support each other. So I call it like the get excited about reading group, because they might be struggling in reading and then they don't feel excited about it because it's hard. But if there's something that we can get them to be interested in, like a certain book, then maybe we can make reading a little fun while also learning. The last group idea, now we're at 4. A team building group, especially for students that don't like it when things don't go their way. So this could be as simple as playing a game one week where you're taking turns, like Trouble or Monopoly, because someone different's gonna win each time, and that's okay. We want to learn how to not be a sore loser. We want to learn how to take turns. We want to learn that when you're playing Trouble and you don't get a 6, so you can't move to the next spot, that's okay. It's just a game, and maybe you'll still win, maybe you won't. It's all right. Also, something where they might need to work together if there's like a teamwork problem, and that could be something you create, or even something as simple as like the human knot game where you guys are all knotted and you guys have to work together. Like, how will we untwist ourselves so that we can get out of this knot? Because you guys all need to work together to get out of it. But kids love that. And that is building teamwork, and it's a good team building exercise. Something else that could be done that's really fun in this sort of group is like the group storytelling or picture completion, where like I might start off a line of a story and then the next person says the next line and the next person does the next line and so on. Same with the picture. You draw a line, the next person draws another one, until eventually it becomes a whole picture. And the point is, maybe you thought it would go one way, but now you kind of have to work with it going another way because that person changed it and you're going with it. And it's fun, and you see how you have this concept of, this was how my world is and this is what was gonna happen. But then it changed, but you see how it was okay and it was still fun, and it's different than what you expected, but everything's good. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little different. I wasn't sure what to do for the sit down video, and I was like, wait a minute, how about we talk about groups? I feel like people don't talk about groups enough. So this is a good video, and like I said, I already did some of these groups already, or I have some of them upcoming, or the groups that I really want to do in the future. So if any of you have done groups, leave that down below, especially if it's a really cool idea that you really like. If any of you try the things that I said, definitely let me know how that went for you. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, leave that down below as well. Sometimes I'm really bad at answering. I try my best to answer comments, but sometimes I get lost. Like, I go on my page and it'll say I had a comment, so I'm like, okay, I'll go back to it later, and then it's gone. I don't know. Like, it's gone from where it says that I had a comment. But anyway, I don't want to keep you any longer. I appreciate you so much for watching. Thank you so much, and you guys have a great rest of your day, evening, weekday, weekend, whatever time it is for you. Bye guys.